So today we're going to do a little series on hip opening. Lots of people have really tight hips, and for those people that have really open or loose hips, the problem often comes when you dump into your hips. So with the people that have really loose hips, you need to work on strengthening, and for those that have tight hips, you need to work on relaxing and opening them. So I'll try and give a bit of instruction for both. So come to a seated position first of all, and bring your soles of your feet together. And we're just going to do a very gentle pose, which is called butterfly, because it looks like a beautiful butterfly, because you gently move your knees, okay? And as we're starting with this, go very slowly. If you want, sit on a block to raise your hips up, because that will give you more space, okay? So just do a few rounds of this to start. And then when you're finished, come over onto your hands and knees. And I want you to inhale, bring the left leg out to the side like you're cocking your leg like a dog. And then I want you to just do a few hip rolls one way. And then the other way. And the other side. And remember to swap directions. And then come back to all hands and knees, curl the toes under and push back into a downward dog. Move the feet, and with this you can move the hips. Move the hips. And then look forward. Lift the right leg up and step it between the hands. Come down into a low lunge and uncurl the back toes. So from here, we're just going to come into a low lunge. For anybody that has open hips, rather than just dumping into it, I want you to feel like you're squeezing the inner thighs together, like you're scissoring them together slightly to give you lift. This should anyway give you a stretch here. And then if you have space, you can then come forward. Inhale, lift up. For those with tight hips, just go gently, feel how far you can go before it starts to get uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. And then inhale, come up. Ooh. Take a few breaths. Again, imagine squeezing the hips together and then lowering down. You can actually do this movement if you want. And it helps with balance. And then from here, take your hands either side of the foot, curl the toes under, and come up. We're going to come into a twisted lunge. So have your left hand, fingers spread wide, and you're going to take your thumb of your right finger and put it into the crease of the hip, of the right hip, and just roll it down, okay? And then from here, you can twist open. Move the shoulder by making big circles. And then bring both hands onto the inside of the foot. Rock gently back and forwards. And then we're going to come into a side angle. Take the foot so that the heel is on the floor as well. And then you're going to open up. Okay? You push the shoulder into the knee. If you don't have space for this, have a block or something and you can come up and do it like this. But the point is to be opening the hips, opening the chest. Again, you can do some circles with the shoulder. You can do circles with the wrist. And then come down. And then come back down into low lunge. And we'll do this one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Curl the back toes under. Come into twist. Rotate. You can squeeze the fist, open the fingers, squeeze open, rotate the fist. Rotate the arm. Come back into the middle, into a lizard, and you can just rock back and forwards here. If you have space, you can lower down, keeping the knee squeezing in. Come up, And then we'll come to the other side. So make sure you put your foot, the back foot down and open up into a side angle. And then from here, staying low, walk your way across to the other side, drop the back knee, and we'll come up into a side angle on this side. Again, imagine squeezing the insides of the thighs towards each other to give you lift. Reach up. Exhale, drop the hands, curl the back toe under. Take your left thumb into the crease of the left hip and just pull it gently down to open a bit. And then twist open, reach the hand up. Exhale down, bring both hands onto the inside, rock gently back and forwards in a preparation for lizard. And then you're going to come into side angle pose. So straighten the back foot, place it onto the floor, the heel onto the floor, and then you're going to open up. Again, have a brick handy if you want to be up here. Gently press the arm into the leg. And then we'll do this again. Come down. A low lunge. Exhale down. Twisted lunge. Again. You can rotate the wrist, squeeze and release the hand. Rotate the shoulder. Exhale, come down into the middle. You can drop the back knee if you want. You can stay up like this. You can come into full lizard. If you're doing this and you have loose hips, then again, you're using that squeezing motion to bring the thighs towards each other, okay? Come up and come into side angle. And then from here, come up and you're gonna point both feet towards the long edge of the mat. Put your hands as if they're in the back pocket and then gently push the hips forward, open up. Exhale, forward fold. Place the hands flat on the floor and then you can very gently bend one knee and the other. Inhale, come up. Bring the hands to the back pockets again. Gently push the hips forward, open across the chest. Exhale, come down. And one more time. You can just move from side to side. If you want more of a stretch, you can come down and come over to the side. If you want to test your strength, you can do it without having your hands on the floor. Come back to the middle. Forward fold, bring the weight into the fronts of the feet. You can walk your hands back to get more of a stretch. And then slowly heel toe the feet in towards each other. And you're going to come down into a squat. This for a lot of people will be too much. What I would suggest is having things to put under your feet. So you can have it like this. Wherever you are, try. And then bring the hands into in palms touching in front of your chest. Try and pull up slightly on your pelvic floor and squeeze the thighs together. And then from here, you can gently push the elbows into the knees to open the hips even more. This is quite a strong stretch. Then from here, forward fold. Move your hips from side to side. And then come down to a seated position. So, from here, I want you to take your left leg and curl it under so that the heel is on the outside of the right hip. Bring the right foot over. And first of all, stay like this. This might feel like this might feel like a strong enough stretch. If not, then you can start to come into a twist. You can take the elbow to the outside of the right knee and open up. Have a straight back, don't slump. So you're pushing your hand into the hips behind you to open. And then coming back to center, we're going to come into, I always call it cow face, but that could be wrong. So what you want to do is bring the knees in the end so that they're on top of each other. Probably for a lot of people that won't happen. You can have it like this. Wherever, as long as you're feeling a good stretch around this part of the body. You're squeezing the thighs slightly towards each other, and then take hold of your feet. Have a straight back, and this might be enough. Or if you want to, you can start to come forward. And again. And again. And if you want to, you can take the hands out in front of you for support. And then come up and swap sides. So you take the right leg under, the left leg over. The right heel should be around the outside hip, the left hip. Can't speak today. And the foot should be on the outside of the knee. Again, if you want to sit on something to give you more height, then great. And then for a twist, you can take the elbow to the outside of the knee, keep the spine straight, and twist from the belly. And release. Now we'll come into cow. So you let this leg go loose, bringing it in towards, so you're squeezing the thighs towards each other, and then depending on how open your hips are, you can start to move the legs out until finally they're in a straight line. Take hold of your feet, and then with the straight back you can start to come forward. You'll notice that one side is much harder than the other, probably. That's very normal. So one side might be really tight and you might just be able to stay there. Another you might be able to come forward. Inhale, come up. And then to finish, we're going to come into a reclining pose. If you have a brick or something that you can use to prop up your hips. I've only got this actual brick, which I found on the roof. I hope you have something more comfortable. But what you want to do is place the flat lower back onto the brick, okay? And then you can lower the body down until the shoulders touch the floor. It should feel quite nice and it should be a good opening for the hips. Quite gentle. You can take your feet out, or if you want more, you can bring the soles of the feet together and take a few breaths here. You can stay here as long as you like, and then once you feel like you've had enough, take the brick away and come into Shavasana for a couple of breaths or a couple of minutes ideally. Again, focusing on your breathing, focusing on relaxing the whole part of your body. You can do a body scan, moving up from your toes all the way up to your head to check if there's anywhere that there's tension. But try and stay there for a few minutes. Even better, try and stay here for as long as possible and let your body really relax into this pose. Make sure your shoulders aren't around your neck, around your ears. Take a deep inhale and exhale through the mouth.